How's everybody doing out there tonight? Scott, how's it going, buddy? Hope you're doing well. I don't know what it's like where you guys are at, but it's a beautiful evening here, I'll tell you what, in Central Illinois. Got a pretty easy one tonight, I'll tell you that. But one of my favorite things to do, so. Ricky, good to see you on here, bud. Let a few more jump on here. Good deal, man. Got clover mode, picked up some rain. Can't beat that. Jeff Johnson, good to see you, bud. Give her a few more seconds here and we'll fire it up and get you guys back out enjoying the evening. Oh, Mark Coleman. The old mushroom finding king right there, I'm telling you. He's probably still eating mushrooms. I'm going to have to get me a little pet monkey or something in here to talk to while I'm waiting on you guys getting on here, because I feel kind of stupid just sitting here. Robert, good to see you on here, bud. Hello to you as well. Now we're getting some people on here. We'll get ready to fire up, guys, here just shortly. I'm about ready for a nap. Just cooked a big old ribeye, a couple big old ribeyes on the pit boss, and man almighty, I'm full, I'm tired, and I got 19 million things I need to do because I've been in meetings all day today. We'll get them done. Old John Seats. Kevin McFarland, good to see you on here, bud. John, good to see you. No, Mark, my mullet's been gone many, many years, bud. Oh. Yeah, Jeff, there's a lot of mounts in here. Getting ready to go pick up another one. There's a bunch of them. This is my little getaway spot right here. I wish I'd just build it bigger. Keep telling the wife I'm either going to have a second story on or build out. I think I'm going to build out because I don't want to carry these things upstairs. So. I don't know, possibly, I don't know if we will this year, but maybe next year I might have to be in the gun room doing these things, because by the time I get a few more pedestals in here, I'm going to need to move this and get it out of the way. So we'll see how things go, but that's a good problem to have. All right, you guys just keep on talking, and I'll start talking here about what our little topic is tonight. I don't want to bore any of you guys here. I know, like I say, I don't know how it is where you guys are at, but here in Central Illinois, it is beautiful out. about 80 degrees, can't beat it. We finally have an evening with no wind, no rain. I've never seen wind like we've had here this year. It's just unbelievable. John, you're exactly right. Never big enough. Felt like my machine shed. But it's been excellent growing season. I have not seen a growing season because of all the moisture like this. I bet you in 10 years, if not more. I can mow clover once a week right now with all the moisture we got, and we're still getting. It shows it's going to dry a little bit for the next week or so, which I'm kind of glad. And we're finally getting the heat. We've had a lot of rain, but we've had some 60, 70 degree days. I'm really needing that heat, especially on barricade right now. I'm needing that heat to beat down on it. It's popping good, growing good, but I just need some more heat on it. Them 80 degree days really helps. But again, like I said, I cannot beat the weather we have had for the growing season, for the clover, the chicory, the alfalfa, the barricade. Again, barricade, I need a little more heat to it. The red zone growing like crazy. So the biggest thing right now is just like the topic on this here is maintaining your perennials. And I haven't maintained your perennials, but a lot of people are planting peas and soybeans this time of year. They're not a perennial, but you're maintaining them with a certain way, the same as you are clovers, and other ways you're not. So it's not all going to be about perennials. We will touch bases on the soybeans and the peas a little bit, but the main part right now is, with me being a diehard clover guy, I got a lot of clover planted, got some Booner Buffet with alfalfa planted. Some of them are established plots, some are new plots that I planted this year that were in my annual areas where I plant clovers every year over my annuals. And then I'll work them back up this year and plant my annuals back. So, but again, they're growing great. But when it comes to maintaining these plots, a lot of people look at, and if you get on Google, or Google it or get online, you'll see people talking about mowing, not mowing your clover plots, your alfalfa plots. And they're right and I'm right. They're saying you don't have to, there's no reason to, why should you? And I'm telling you, you need to. If I wasn't growing clover for the wildlife, I wouldn't mow it, especially for the healthiness of the animal. But the reason I mow clover and my alfalfa is because I want that plant to produce the highest amount of protein that it can when it's the most palatable. So anytime you see them flower, that's telling you it's at its lowest protein rate, it's least palatable for the deer. So you want to mow that to turn that back around to the most palatable and the highest protein. Will white-tailed deer eat clover that's flowered and matured out? Absolutely. But I want them to have the highest protein rate, so that's why I keep mine mowed. I also keep it mowed for weed and grass control. It really helps with that. It knocks my spraying down 75, 80%, and sometimes 100% depending on the growth I have. So it helps in a lot of ways. A lot of people will talk about, well, I want mine to get up, mature, and seed out. Well, number one, if your plot needs reseeded, and depending on the clover you're using, absolutely, you can do that. Certain clovers, they're not inoculated. They're never going to germinate. Certain clover varieties will not germinate, will not put a seed pod on. So you really got to know what you have there for a clover variety to see if it's really going to do what you want it to do. If I have a lush clover plot, the last thing I want to do is have it reseeding itself, like our trophy clover. Our trophy clover has arrowleaf clover in it. Arrowleaf is probably one of the best clovers ever used to reseed itself. I don't want it to reseed itself if my clover is lush. That's why I'm mowing it before that seed head gets on there. I do not want it doing that because it will reseed itself. And then you're just smothering the plot out. You're making it too thick. The plants are going to starve each other for nutrition. You know, the same thing you've heard me talk about for years. So the key thing is knowing the clover varieties that you're using, the alfalfa varieties you're using, which a lot of people don't know. They will hear it's got white clover in it. I want white clover. They don't realize how many species of white clover there actually is. There's white clover that deer will not even touch because it's not palatable for them. They just think they've heard white and I want to use white clover. They think I'm going to use red. They don't realize how many species of red clover there is. So a lot of these places you go and buy seed by the pound, you're buying pretty much a pasture type clover that's going to be real stemmy. Deer do not like real stemmy. It's not palatable to them. And people think, well, a cow eat it, a deer eat it. A deer, even though they got the same stomach system, their first chamber is not as big. That first chamber is how they digest that. They cannot take that big stemmy plant like a cow can. Even though like their stomach is the same, that first chamber is too small. So you want to use the proper clover when it comes to these deer. So just going out buying a red, a white, anything like that, Ladino, there's different species of Ladinos. There's different species of arrow leaf. So you just got to know what you're getting there. And if the deer are going to eat it, if it's palatable, what it's actually designed for. So that's my rant tonight about clovers, really. It's like I say, there's nothing to this, guys. Just picking the proper ones, knowing what they do and what they won't do for you. And that's going to tell you a lot on how you're going to maintain them. So I'm always mowing my clovers. I'm always mowing my alfalfa. You know, I want the least amount of weed and grass in them clover plots because I don't want them weeds and grasses starving and stealing nutrition away from the clovers. So when you get a plot that is not full of weeds and grasses, your clovers are going to survive a lot better. They're going to get bigger. They're going to get lusher. They're going to get sweeter. They're going to offer more tonnage. Our trophy clover mix, you look at a 7.0 soil, good nutrients, pour the potash to them. You're looking at a bag that's going to offer you, or a seed variety that's going to offer you about 10 tons of forage per acre. And you just go, wow, how in the world can you get 10 tons of forage per acre on a plant that grows that big? Well, most people, if your clover is growing that big, then that means your soil's off, you're not feeding enough, because the trophy clover, especially the arrow leaf, you're looking at a 22-inch plant when it matures out, starting probably that second year. That's how you're getting your tonnage. If you're not getting that height out of that clover, then you need to start mending your soil. So, and seeing what's going on there. Why them plants aren't growing and maturing out at the height they need to and giving you petals the size of your hand. So that's what you really need to look at and do your homework, and it really helps. And I'm here to help in any way I can. You call me up, text me, message me, email me, whatever. I'll help you in any way I can. I do it all the time. So, but, you know, with that trophy clover, it's no difference if you take the trophy clover and the game changer clover. The maintenance is the same. The herbicides are the same that you can spray on it. The fertilizer is the same. They're all the same. So you look at a clover, even the Booner Buffet. Booner Buffet is the exact same. So you look at maintaining them plots. You're looking at mowing them plots, make them more palatable. That with them being more palatable, they're going to be sweeter. They're going to be higher in protein, and they're going to give you a lot more tonnage. If you're having weed and grass issues, yes, there is select herbicide. You've heard me talk about select herbicides forever on what you can spray on these. I think we discussed some of it last week or 2 weeks ago, actually. You know, when it comes to spraying these, which I'll just throw them up here real quick, since I got them here on the computer. The clethodim is the best thing to use when it comes to grass herbicide in your legume plots, your clovers, your alfalfas, your soybeans, your peas. You can use it on your chicory. So, which is not a legume plant, but a lot of your clovers out there, like our trophy clover, has chicory mixed in with it. Best thing that you can use right there. You know, you're looking at something that you're pretty much going to do about half ounce per gallon, half ounce of chemical per gallon of water. You never want to spray 16 ounces, more than 16 ounces per acre. It's a real slow release. It's going to take a while for it to take effect, but it will kill it dead. Now, when you look at your broadleaf control, you're looking at the Boot Rack 200, the 2,4-DB, which is 2,4-D as in dog, B as in boy. It better have that B as in boy on, or you're going to kill it all. So this is something that's good to spray on them. But now, when you have chicory, this will also smoke the chicory, especially if you mix it hot. I've toned it down some where I take care of my weed issues with a lighter dose when my weed control is pretty light. I can get by with stunning the chicory and not killing it. But usually when you're going in there after weeds, you're usually got a pretty bad weed issue and you're mixing it hot and you're going to smoke it. That's where a product similar to like your IMOX. IMOX is a great thing to use. And an established clover plot or alfalfa plot, it's going to kill the grasses and the weeds. Do not use IMOX during the spring and summer months if you're going to plant something over it in the fall. You do not want to. So it's going to hold the residual in that soil. Your seeds will not germinate, and you're stuck with a dead plot with nothing growing. Nothing will germinate till that next year. So I use the IMOX on my clover plots that I'm going to keep year around because it works excellent. Yes, it's a little more expensive, but it works excellent for a one-pass application. And it will not kill the chicory. But again, I highly stress, do not use it in the spring and summer when you're going to plant something in the same area in the fall. Now with the clethodim and the Boot Rack 200, I do not prefer bringing them together. I'll about 7 days apart. They are a select herbicide, but they are going to stun the plant. You can see them stunned for about 2 weeks. You can see the clovers brown up a little bit. You can see maybe some yellow ones, some curling of the leaves. You will see that, especially with the Boot Rack 200, not with the clethodim, but with the Boot Rack 200. But when you mix them together, it really puts a double whammy on them. So what I like to do is I'll take our clover fuel, which is a 0028 liquid foliar fertilizer. I'll mix it in when I'm spraying either one of them. So that actually helps shorten that stun stage. I usually about a week after I spray, they're back up, lush, green, growing great again. So that foliar fertilizer, that clover fuel really helps out to give that plant a kickstart while it's a little stressed. So, and with our chemicals, you can, when it's going with select herbicides, you can mix in our Plot Max, our Jolt, our clover fuel, you mix them all in for a one-pass application on that part. But again, don't spray the clethodim and the 2,4-DB, the Boot Rack 200. Don't mix them together and spray them together. Give them about 7 days and spray them. It's really going to help you out there, and especially with the stress of the plant. It's really going to help that plant out. So, but other than that, you know, with the soybeans, peas, you can use the clethodim. The clethodim works really well for the grass control. You're not wanting to use the 2,4-D on it as much. You can get by at certain growth stages, but the clethodim you can spray up pretty much all you want. That's where a lot of guys are using more Roundup Ready type stuff in the beans and stuff like that. But with us, we deal with any Roundup Ready stuff. We're using guys to kill it. And a good pre-emergent sometimes helps as well. So just picking the proper one for your area and what you're going to be planting really goes a long ways. But other than that, guys, when it comes to the maintenance, you're pretty much looking at mowing, spraying, praying for rain, you know, feeding the plants with some fertilizer. A lot of people think, and my taxidermist and I, my best friend, we were just talking here just a few minutes ago, back and forth on a text message about getting potash put on. And where a lot of people don't realize, they think it's a one and done. You can get by with a one and done. Throw it on the spring when you plant or onto an established plot, let it go through the year. I always put granular fertilizer on, even though I use clover fuel throughout the summer when I'm spraying. I always put granular fertilizer on in the spring. And then here in central Illinois, I'm putting it on about mid to late July, just to give them plants another big boost before that frost comes in a couple months. So it just works out really well, and it helps for the next year of green up. So fertilizer ain't cheap. I understand it. Again, it's not something you have to do, but it will really make a big difference in your plots. Everybody asks me all the time when they see pictures of my clover plots. I got certain friends that go, man, I wish my clover looked like that. I put a lot of time and money into them because I enjoy it. And if my wife knew how much money I put into it, they probably wouldn't look that good. So, but it's just one of them things that I enjoy the heck out of it. I love maintaining clover. I've always been a clover nut. And yours can look just as well, but you just got to put the time, the money into it, and the blood, sweat, and tears. I'm telling you what, there weeds and grasses, especially in a rainy season like we have right now, the weeds and grass are just going crazy. I mean, going nuts. And I'm not complaining about the rain because I know I guarantee it. Give me another month. Last year at this time, we were already in a drought. So I got a feeling it's coming. I hope not, but I just have that feeling. So I'm not going to complain one bit about weeds and grasses and taking care of them and extra sprayings and extra mowings, because I'd rather have that than not have any at all. And last year was probably the worst plots I ever seen in my life. I don't think there's anything else here I can kind of show you. Let me see what I got here. And for the ones that don't know what I'm talking about, the clover fuel is actually what I'm talking about there when I talk about our foliar fertilizer. For the ones that don't know, that is our 0028, 1 bottle will treat an acre. When it comes to it, a lot of people will ask me, even though the bottle says mix it with 10 gallons of water per acre, they'll say, you know, I can't spray half an acre plot with 10 gallons of water. I put way too much water out. Don't go by what the label says on the foliar fertilizer. Just know how much water it takes to spray an acre with your equipment and mix that bottle with it. If it's 20, if it's 25, if it's 15 gallons, doesn't matter. Long as you mix it with what you need to spray that area and use every bit of it, you're fine. So you don't have to worry about diluting it down too much. Just make sure you use it over the whole plot. Most sprayers are calibrated from 10 to 11 gallons per acre is what you're really looking at in the ag side per acre, and 10 to 11 gallons per acre. But these sprayers that are coming out now, all these sprayers most people are using, they're using 20, 25 gallons just because they're not calibrated correctly. So just use what your sprayer needs to spray that acre and mix it in with it. I'm going to jump off here real quick. Get back here to you guys. I'll see if got any questions here you guys want me to answer here. Mark Coleman, did your taxidermist retire? Yeah, Eric actually retired a year ago, but he's still doing mine and Stacy's work, which that's who I got to go pick up the buck from last year. He's got it mounted, it's drying now, so. Robert, good, you've been getting a lot of good rain, that off and on, that's perfect. Perfect growing. Mike's asking, how short should clover be mowed down? Here's the thing, when it comes to clover, and that's actually a very good question. A lot of people have heard 8 inches, they've heard 6 inches, take the tops off of it. You know, over the years, 20 some years now, or even more than that, I've played around with my mowing. I like to mow down as low as I can especially if I have an area that I'm in a lot of weed and grass issues and I don't want to use herbicides as much. But to do that, I got to have plenty moisture. Like right now, when I'm mowing right now, I've mowed probably my fourth time now. I think it's my fourth time mowing my clover plots this year. I will mow them down to about 2 inches off the ground. Just because I know I have plenty moisture, that really helps get rid of them weeds and grasses. The clovers will bounce back up after I spray the clover fuel on them. And I'm always spraying clover fuel after I mow, about 3 to 4 days after I mow. And they'll bounce up, smother out them weeds and outgrow them. I like doing that. But if you do not have the moisture, you will burn that plot up by doing that on a hot summer day. So you want to make sure you have plenty moisture before you do that. All you really need to do is take the tops off. Knock the tops off that plant. That's all you have to do. But I highly recommend, number one, do not spray if you're in a drought. Do not mow if you're in a drought. Don't cut it low if you're in a drought at all. I shouldn't say drought, but not getting a lot of moisture, don't cut it low at all. If you're in a drought, don't cut it all. But when you get into an area where you're getting enough moisture to mow, your plants are green, they're lush, they're looking good, you want to mow it, knock them down to 5 to 6 inches. And a lot of times when you hear me talk about taking the tops off of them, you never know how the person has their soil set up for clovers. Again, some guys' clovers can be maturing out at 6 inches tall. A brand new clover plot could actually mature out at 4 to 5, 6 inches tall. After you mow it, the second mature, it could be up there, 14 inches tall before it matures out. So always just kind of judge on the height of your clover when it's starting to flower. If it's a low flowering, just knock the tops off of it. If it's up where you can knock it down to 4 to 5 inches tall, 6 inches tall, and you got moisture in the ground, you're good to go. If you got a weedy mess and you got plenty moisture, the plants look better than you've ever seen them ever look before, you got more moisture coming in, cut them down 2 to 3 inches. It'll really help with getting rid of them weeds and grasses. Oh, Scuba Steve, how you doing, bud? Mike, planting the trophy clover mix, that's the best one, but if they fired me today, I'd use it tomorrow. Mark, you're right. So Antler King has done his homework on their clover mixes. Makes it a no-brainer for me. Absolutely, Mark. You look at the trophy clover mix is the very first clover, actually the very first perennial that we brought to the market in, let me think here, 89? Don't hold me to it, but I think it's 1989. I think Honey Hole was 88. Yeah, 88 and then 89. So yeah, Honey Hole is number one, trophy clover number two. That trophy clover is still the number one selling perennial. So since 1989, it's just by far. We have to tweak that mix here and there. And a lot of people ask me because they read on the back of the bag and they see a name of clover they didn't realize or a number they didn't realize. With the droughts and everything, there are certain times seed suppliers like us, we cannot get enough of the seeds that we use every year. So we got to find the next best thing or something even better than what we're using to substitute it until we can get the growth going back again to have the seed that we need. A lot of people don't realize how much seed it takes for a spring order of trophy clover. It is unbelievable. So we're not talking about 5-gallon buckets. We're talking about semis. We're talking about train cars. And so when you're mixing a variety like that with all the good ones, and then you get some, even you get out where they're growing a lot of it, wildfires, taking out hundreds of thousands of acres. You really gotta do your homework and get it where it's going to grow just like it should. Even though you're using a different variety of clover, you want to make sure it's palatable. It's the highest protein. You're looking at 30% protein on these clovers. That's what we want. That's the only way we go with it. We're the type that if it's not going to be there, we're not going to use it. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into these mixes that a lot of people have no clue on. They hear turnips, they hear radishes, they hear clover, they hear alfalfa. They don't realize, like I was talking about earlier, how many different species of each one of them there is. I know they're getting into a lot of the hybrid stuff. We've tested hybrid stuff for a while. Some of it are great. Some of it, the deer will walk through a 2-acre plot to go eat a branch off of a tree. I mean, it's junk. And I see people using it, and it kills me. You know, just because it's the newest thing out there doesn't mean it's worth it. You got to do the testing. That's why a lot of these mixes, and I know I'm rambling on now, just talking about the testing for Antler King. I'm talking years of testing before a mix comes out. The mix we're working on right now, it's been tested for 2 years. Wasn't happy with it. We're not going to put it on a shelf and get our customers not happy with it if we're not happy with it. We want the customers to be happy just like we are. So we tweak it. We try different things. The only way to try it is to test it. And as you well know, you got spring and fall is the only time you got to test something. And some things have to be only planted in the spring. Some have to be only planted in the fall. Sometimes you only got a one shot per year to see if you like it. And if you don't, you got to wait till the next year. So we don't grow, well, we do grow stuff in laboratory, but we don't grow our testing stuff in laboratory. We grow it out where we're going to be planting it at. That's where we grow it at. I got test spots on my property where I test certain things every year, different seed varieties. It's just a lot goes into it. And when you love it, you love it. And when you don't, you shouldn't be doing it. So I love this stuff. I love testing these. I love learning about these products. I love learning to see how the deer react to them. There's a lot of things out there that a deer will not react to the first year, but the second year they lay into it. You know, brassica varieties are that way. So it's just picking the proper thing, or the right thing, I should say, the right thing for the right mix, for the right climate, and it'll do well for the customer. And that's what we want. So yes, Mark, we have done our homework. We do our homework every day. And I appreciate you throwing that out there, because it's something that we look forward to and we love hearing about. So. Old Danny with Up North Journal. Good to see you on here, bud. Yes, Jeff Johnson, the clover fuel is mixable with the IMOX. Absolutely. Old Scuba Steve. If you guys don't know Scuba Steve, you should. Scuba is one of my pro staffers. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and one of the best cooks you will ever try anything from, I'm telling you. So typical Scuba. Jolt works good on the garden too. Absolutely. Our Jolt fertilizer, it's a nitrogen base. I actually use it in the garden, and I spray my yard. I've actually sprayed my yard probably 10 times this spring with it already. Works great. Not only for the plots, but for your garden, your fruit trees, your yard. Works awesome. Jeff's asking, if you're going to mow, is it better to spray the herbicide and clover fuel before or after the mowing, and how far apart? You can do it a couple ways. If the grass control is not that bad, what I normally do, I will spray my, let's rephrase this. Let me go back so it makes more sense to you. When I know that I'm going to be mowing an area and I got grass and weed control that I need to take care of, I will go in 2 to 3 weeks prior and I will spray when I have the time. I will spray it. I'll spray it with the clover fuel. I'll spray it with the herbicides. And then, 2 or 3 weeks, however long it is, when I'm going to mow, I'll mow it. Now, if I find a spot that, oh my, the weeds just grew up and exploded, I will mow the plot. If I don't have the time to wait, I'll mow the plot. I'll let it go for a week or so, let the leaves start coming back on good on the clover, and then I'll go in and spray my herbicides and my clover fuel on it. But with me, even if I sprayed the weed control and the clover fuel a few weeks prior to mowing, I always come back a week after mowing and I'll hit it again with clover fuel, just because I know what it does for the clover, and it works so well. So you cannot spray too much clover fuel. You're never going to burn the plant. It's straight potash. You'll never burn it. The plant will only benefit from it. It's not something you have to do. It's just something I do because I know what it does to the clover and alfalfa. So again, if you know you're going to have a couple weeks prior, go ahead and spray it. A couple weeks later, go ahead and mow it. But if it's a last minute thing, I would rather you mow it, wait a week or so till them plants start leafing back out, and then spray it. John Seitz is on here talking about, the 2,4-DB, especially the Boot Rack 200, they're doing away with it, is what I've been told by our fertilizer guys. And my fertilizer guys here, I bought the last 2.5 gallon jugs they had, and they can't get any more. But he said that somebody's asking, he was saying the Keystone Solutions that you can order online from Keystone Solutions still has it. He just got 5 gallon. So at least you can still get it online. Mark Coleman, tell me again, how long are the root systems on clover? It depends on the clover. A lot of our trophy clover mix will barely 3 to 4 foot root system. You get into the Game Changer, you're getting a lot shallower, anywhere from 18 to 20 inches. But with the trophy clover, the big perennial forage clovers, you can get down there 3 to 4 foot. Kevin's asking, how much of a difference is there between trophy clover and Game Changer clover? What's the real big difference? Trophy clover needs a very good sun. The variety of clovers in it, they need a good 5 to 6 hours of sun a day. They need a very good soil, a very good pH in the soil. Like anything else, everything needs a 7.0 pH to get a 100% growth out of it. That's the only way it's going to be able to utilize 100% of the fertilizer you give it. But it needs a good 6.5 to 7.0 pH. Game Changer clover is a shade tolerant and pH tolerant mix that will grow in a lower pH soil and down to about 3 hours of sun a day. Now the trophy clover is going to give you a lot more tonnage than the Game Changer, but the trophy clover will not grow in that shaded area. But the Game Changer clover will grow in a sunnier area, and the more sun and the better the soil, the more tonnage you will receive out of that mix. But the Game Changer, the trophy clover has to have the good sun, good soil, good pH. Oh, Scuba Steve's having good. He went out and got him a big old red stag and stuff out there. And said it got word that his heads are on the way back from the States. Congratulations again, brother. That was a once in a lifetime hunt. I'm so glad you got to go out there and experience that. Jealous, but I'm glad for you. Rob, I have mustard that is now grown in the areas of the clover plot. Should I mow the mustard or spray it with the herbicide to control and remove the mustard from the plot? Depends on how bad it is. I mean, myself, if you've got a lot of mustard growing in it, I would spray it and then mow it after it starts dying off. That would be the thing. If it's not a lot, you could probably get rid of a lot of it just by mowing. But if you got a lot in there and usually it spreads so bad it covers a whole plot, I would definitely spray it first. Mike's asking, does clover fuel have a shelf life? Clover fuel, Jolt, and Plot Max, all three of our 2 foliar fertilizers, and the Plot Max is a soil conditioner. They do not have a shelf life, but like any liquid product, especially a foliar fertilizer or humic acid, which is in the Plot Max, you do not want them to freeze. If they freeze, they're going to break down and you will get no value out of them. So Long as they don't freeze, they can be 30 years old and still give you the same benefit. But as soon as they freeze, you need to throw them away. All right, guys, give me some more questions here. We're pretty much done talking about maintaining. I'll talk about anything else. But yeah, like I said, there ain't much to the maintaining. It sounds like a lot, but it's not. Like anything else, do it once. Fall off the bike, get back on, ride again. It is good to go. The herbicides scare people a lot just because they don't want to spray the wrong thing. And the sad thing about it is a lot of stores out there that carry herbicides, the employees have not been trained properly on what they do. The good thing about it is most of them will tell you they don't know, which doesn't help you, but it keeps you from spraying the wrong thing. Do your homework. So that's the good thing. The worst thing is when somebody tells you what you can spray and you can't, and then you spray it, then everything's dead. So the 2,4-DB is a big one. A lot of people think 2,4-DB is just 2,4-D. 2,4-D will kill the clover, the alfalfa, and all. It is smoke it dead. Won't touch your grass, but it'll kill everything else dead, out of the weeds. So, or the broadleaf. So make sure it has that B as in boy after it. Scuba, I might just take you up on that, Bubba. You let me know. John, red zone's looking awesome. Great. I heard you've been getting some rain. That'd be perfect for down there. All right, you guys got any more questions for me before we get off here for the night? It's going to be a couple weeks before we get back on here. All right, well, you guys have a great night. Brandon, good to see you on here, bud. You guys have a great night. If there's something I can help you with, you know how to get a hold of me. And just yell at me. I'll help you out in any way I can. You guys take care and have a great night.